Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Educating All Learners Alliance podcast. We have another 5 minutes with episode for you today. And today I'm here with Emily Art, who's the Dean of Special Education at Relay Graduate School of Education. And so I know you've told me a bit about the TEL program at Relay, which is Teaching Exceptional Learners. Could you just tell us a bit more about that?
Yep, we actually have two programs. The first is for new to teaching special educators, and this is a master's program which prepares for dual certification in general education and special education. And then we have an advanced certificate program for experienced teachers. So these are generally people who've been in the classroom for 4 or 5 years. They are teaching in general education settings, but they want to come back to learn more about how to meet the needs of diverse learners in their classrooms.
At ELA, our goal is to promote best practices in the field of special education, and so it's great to see a school like yours that's helping the educators themselves develop those needed skills. And so we would love to hear about, over the past year, with all the changes that have been made to the education space, what are some ways that your programs have adapted to be responsive to the more hybrid and different teaching models?
So reactively, we realized that our teachers were in a position where they were very quickly switching to online learning and they needed resources immediately for how to lead virtual IEP meetings and how to lead virtual intervention sessions in addition to their day-to-day teaching. And while we would have loved to create those resources ourselves, we found that the best strategy was getting educators together and giving them the opportunity to share the best practices that they were innovating on really rapidly because the circumstance was demanding it. Proactively, there are a number of things that we've done going into this year to make sure that we're set up to be really responsive to our teachers. And so we've used a strategy of empathy interviews, which is a series of one-on-one touch points with teachers to get to know them as they come into our program and to make sure that we're really understanding the context that they're in, the supports that they have, and the ways that their day-to-day demands of their profession are impacting them as individuals. We have a digital platform in Canvas where teachers can access resources, including the resources that ELA provides. And we also focused within that platform on 3 areas for special educators: online facilitation, trauma-informed practice, and digital case management.
I would love to dive in a little bit deeper into some of the programmatic changes that you mentioned and what you believe has had the most impact for students with disabilities.
I think that one of the unique things about Relay Graduate School of Education is that many, actually all of the faculty members have spent time in the classroom as special educators. And so often that means that we're able to model best practices. We are talking about our decision making and being metacognitive so that special educators can then get a get insight into the teaching process as we engage with them around the content. Our New York campus has instituted a 15-minute professional learning community at the beginning of every class night. And that's a time for teachers to connect with the same group of colleagues each class, so that's weekly, and to connect around relevant topics to them.
These are some great opportunities, it sounds, for educators. And so, if there are current educators or even just schools listening in, where can they go to know more or see, some of the work that's being done?
Well, you can always visit Relay's website and you can look at the work being done in the special education programming. And then also our team. Our team is full of people who are interested in collaboration and who are eager to connect. And so if there's something that I've mentioned that is particularly appealing or that you want to know more about, I'm happy to connect you directly to the folks who are leading that work. My email address is eart@relay.edu.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on the episode today. Definitely reach out to Emily if you want to know more. Check out educatingalllearners.org, subscribe to Educating All Learners YouTube channel, and follow us on Twitter at educateall_org. Until next time, this is the Educating All Learners Alliance podcast.